Solo travel. It's a different beast, not a trip for everyone, but for some it's a necessity, a chance to hit the reset button, to reconnect with yourself, to explore without compromise, to face your fears, embrace the unknown. I'd been feeling the burn, the relentless pace of life, the noise, the need for something more, something real. Iceland called to me, a place of raw beauty, stark landscapes, a sense of isolation, perfect. There's something liberating about being completely on your own, responsible for every decision, every meal, every wrong turn. It's terrifying and exhilarating all at once. This trip? This was about finding a piece of myself I felt like I'd lost. It was time to get uncomfortable, to push my limits, to just be. The anticipation was palpable. I could feel Iceland's pull long before I boarded the plane. Images flashed through my mind. Towering glaciers, erupting geysers, the ethereal glow of the northern lights. I craved the silence of its vast landscapes, the promise of adventure. Stepping off the plane, the air hit me, crisp, clean, invigorating. This was it, the start of something new. The unknown stretched before me, full of possibility. Excitement coursed through me. First stop, Reykjavik. A city small enough to feel manageable, yet pulsing with an energy that promised unexpected encounters. I could feel a smile spreading across my face. Let the adventure begin. Reykjavik was a maze of colourful houses, narrow streets, murals bursting with life. I was determined to explore on foot, to get lost in its charm, and lost I got. My sense of direction, usually reliable, abandoned me. I wandered aimlessly, chuckling to myself. This was part of the adventure, wasn't it? The locals, sensing my confusion, were quick to offer help. Their directions, laced with Icelandic lilt, were as charming as the city itself. I stumbled upon hidden cafes, sipped strong, dark coffee, savoured pastries dusted with powdered sugar, each bite a small victory in my self-made scavenger hunt. Getting lost had never been so delicious. Leaving Reykjavik, I ventured into Iceland's raw beauty. Volcanic landscapes stretched as far as the eye could see. Black sand beaches met crashing waves. The air was thick with the scent of sulfur. It was both beautiful and unsettling. I stood on the edge of tectonic plates, witnessed the raw power of Strokkur geyser erupt, basked in the warmth of the blue lagoon, surrounded by steam and the laughter of fellow travelers. One experience, though, will forever be etched in my memory. The smell hit me first. Sulfur, yes, but something else, something earthy, almost sweet. I followed my nose to a small wooden shack. Inside, a local farmer was pulling loaves of bread from the ground. Geothermal bread, baked by the heat of the earth. It tasted like life itself. The Northern Lights, a dance of light and emotion. I'd heard stories, seen pictures. The tales of the Northern Lights had always fascinated me, filling my imagination with vivid colours and ethereal movements. But nothing could prepare me for the real thing. The sheer magnitude and beauty of it were beyond anything I had ever experienced. We stood in the darkness, a group of strangers united in anticipation. Each of us had travelled from different corners of the world, drawn together by the promise of witnessing this natural wonder. The air was frigid, biting at any exposed skin. Our breaths formed small clouds in the cold night air. And then it began. A faint green glow on the horizon, growing in intensity, swirling, dancing. It was as if the sky itself had come alive, performing a dance just for us. Streaks of emerald, turquoise, and violet painted across the sky. It was mesmerizing. The colors seemed to pulse with a life of their own, shifting and changing with every passing second. A collective gasp rippled through the group. Some cried, tears of joy, of awe, of being part of something so much bigger than ourselves. Others stood in stunned silence. Words seemed inadequate to describe what we were witnessing. I simply stared, lost in the celestial ballet above. The light seemed to tell a story, one of ancient myths and cosmic wonders. In that moment, I felt a profound sense of peace, a tranquility that washed over me, calming my mind and soul, of connection to something far greater than myself. It was as if the universe was speaking directly to me, reminding me of my place in the grand scheme of things. It was a moment of pure magic, a fleeting glimpse into the mysteries of the cosmos, a reminder of the beauty that exists in this world, a beauty that is always there, waiting to be discovered, if only we take the time to look. Solitude and self-discovery, finding peace in Iceland's wilderness. Days blurred into a tapestry of breathtaking landscapes and quiet moments of reflection. I hiked across glaciers, the crunch of my boots the only sound. I sat by glacial lagoons watching icebergs carve and float away. Each experience a lesson in the power of solitude. There's a certain vulnerability that comes with being alone in such vastness. You're stripped bare, exposed, forced to confront your thoughts and emotions. But in that vulnerability, there's also strength, a clarity that comes from facing your inner demons, from realizing you're stronger than you thought. Embracing the unexpected, a toast to burnt bread and resilience. Solo travel isn't always glamorous. It's a journey filled with highs and lows, moments of awe and instances of frustration. There are moments of frustration, of loneliness, times when you feel the weight of solitude pressing down on you, times when things don't go according to plan, when the unexpected becomes your constant companion. Take, for instance, the time I tried to cook myself a gourmet meal in my tiny guest house kitchen. It was supposed to be a simple, yet delightful experience. Armed with local ingredients and good intentions, I set about creating a culinary masterpiece. Fresh fish, vibrant vegetables, and aromatic herbs were all laid out, ready to be transformed. The result? A charred mess resembling something you'd find at the bottom of a volcano. The smell of burnt food filled the air, and my hopes of a delicious meal went up in smoke. I stood there, staring at my culinary disaster, and burst out laughing. It was either that or cry, and laughter seemed like the better option. What else could I do? Sometimes things just don't work out, no matter how much effort you put in. It was a perfect metaphor for the trip itself, a reminder that not everything goes as planned, and that's okay. Sometimes, even with the best intentions, things go wrong, but it's in those moments of failure that we find our true strength. It's how you react that matters. Do you let it ruin your day, or do you find a way to turn it into a positive experience? So, I toasted my burnt dinner with a shot of Brennivin, the local schnapps, and ordered takeout. It wasn't the meal I had planned, but it was a memorable one nonetheless. It was a valuable lesson in resilience, in learning to adapt and make the best of any situation, in learning to laugh at myself, to not take things too seriously, and to find joy in the little mishaps, in embracing the imperfections of the journey. Because it's those imperfections that make the adventure truly unforgettable. The power of disconnection, reconnecting with myself. In a world dominated by technology, there's something incredibly liberating about disconnecting. The constant barrage of emails, messages, and social media updates can be overwhelming. It's as if we're always on, always connected, and always available. But what happens when we decide to step away from it all? About trading the constant pings of notifications for the sound of wind whistling across lava fields. The serene silence of nature offers a stark contrast to the digital noise we're so accustomed to. I'll admit, it wasn't easy at first. The initial days were filled with a sense of restlessness. I found myself reaching for my phone out of habit, only to remember that I had chosen to disconnect. The urge to check my phone was almost Pavlovian. Each buzz and beep had conditioned me to respond immediately, creating an almost addictive cycle. But as days turned into nights, I felt a shift. The anxiety of missing out began to fade, replaced by a growing sense of peace. The sunsets seemed more vibrant, the nights more serene. A sense of calm I hadn't realized was missing. It was as if a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, allowing me to breathe deeply and fully. Without the distractions of the online world, I was free to truly experience my surroundings, to be present, to notice the small details that often go unnoticed in our busy lives, to listen to the whispers of the wind, the rustling of leaves, the distant call of a bird, the gentle lapping of water against the shore, to feel the raw power of nature coursing through my veins. The energy of the earth beneath my feet, the vastness of the sky above, and the timeless beauty of the landscape around me. It was in those moments of disconnection that I truly reconnected with myself. I found clarity in my thoughts, a renewed sense of purpose, and a deeper understanding of who I am, with the world around me. The beauty of nature, the simplicity of life, and the interconnectedness of all things became more apparent. With a sense of peace I'd forgotten existed, a peace that comes from being truly present, from embracing the moment, and from reconnecting with the essence of life itself. Lessons from the land of fire and ice growth and gratitude. As my trip neared its end, I found myself reflecting on the lessons learned. Iceland had been more than just a destination. It had been a journey of self-discovery. I'd faced my fears, embraced the unknown, learned to find comfort in my own company. I'd discovered a resilience I didn't know I possessed, a newfound appreciation for the simple things. Most importantly, I'd learned that sometimes the most transformative journeys are the ones we take alone. A call to adventure. Embrace the unknown, discover yourself. My journey through Iceland might be over, but the lessons linger, the memories etched deep within me. It's a reminder that sometimes you just have to take the leap, to step outside your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. Solo travel isn't for everyone, but if you've ever felt the call of adventure, the need to reconnect with yourself, to experience the world on your own terms, I urge you, take the plunge. You might be surprised by what you find. Until next time, Iceland, a promise to return. Leaving Iceland was bittersweet. I carried a piece of it with me, in the silence of its landscapes, in the raw beauty of its nature, in the lessons I'd learned about myself. It wasn't goodbye, it was until next time, a promise whispered to the wind, a knowing that I'd return to this magical land, to once again lose myself in its embrace, and maybe, just maybe, find myself all over again. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and share the video. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. Until next time, happy travels.